How to strengthen your glutes and stabilize your pelvis.
So we're aiming for the glute med muscle, which is a glute muscle that sits on the side of your hip through here. And what we want to do is both stabilize the pelvis by strengthening through here, but also take some pressure off the low back so that it's not having to work quite so hard. Really easy muscle to strengthen, but quite hard to do with good technique. So what we're going to start with is making sure that shoulders, hips and feet are all stacked roughly in a straight line. My knees are on top of each other. From here I'm going to lift up the side of my body so that there's a little gap between the mat and myself. You can pop your hand on the side of your hip so that you can actually feel this muscle, and when the muscle engages it should feel a little bit firmer underneath your fingers, and you can sometimes actually feel it contract. What I'm going to do to start with is, once I've lifted up through the side of my body, I'm going to think about pushing my hip away from my body. I then want to squeeze my feet together to give myself a little bit of control, and I'm slowly and in a controlled manner going to lift the leg about 10 centimeters so that the knee has a gap between it. From here I want to control the movement back downwards again, and the movement down is as important as the movement upwards. So we're going to watch it in both directions that it's doing the right thing. With this, we want to make sure that the hips are stacked on top of each other, because if we roll forward, we start to engage the muscles of the low back, and if we roll too far backwards, we start to use our hip flexors through the front and sometimes our abdominal muscles. So to make sure that we're doing it correctly, we want to have that lift, push the hip away and squeeze the feet together. And if you are doing it in the correct manner, you'll find that you get a little bit of discomfort or burning through the top of the hip here, and that's a good thing as long as it's not painful. And you may get a little bit of sensation through the side of the leg. Anywhere else, through the hip flexors, through the low back, through the abdominal muscles, they're not great places to feel discomfort when you're doing this exercise, and probably indicate that you're not doing it right. So push the hip away, squeeze the feet together, gently open the knees, gently close the knees, and we're going to repeat this about 15 times each side of the body, and you're going to have some stronger glutes.